Hi there, this is KS, and in this video, I want to discuss the first chapter of the 6th class NCERT, that's geography. Fine, the Earth in the solar system. Fine. So I'll discuss briefly whatever the terms, concept mentioned in this particular chapter. Fine. So let's just discuss the first term that you come across is celestial bodies. Now, what are the celestial bodies? Its definition, or kind of the definition says that the sun, the moon, and all the other sign objects that are shining in the night sky, that what we call as celestial bodies. Fine. So as you can mention in some words, that what are these celestial bodies? The sun, the moon, and the all other objects that shining in the night sky, that what we call as celestial body. You may have seen the moon or sun, and even stars you see in the night sky. Fine. So this is what we call as the celestial body. So you can mention, if you are making a notes, what are the celestial bodies? The moon, uh, the sun, and all the all the other uh, objects shining in the night sky. In the night sky. Fine. So this is what we celestial bodies. Look, people, they have their they are big and hot. These bodies are big and hot, and these are big and hot. They are made up of gases. These bodies are we can say they are made up of gases. Fine. So what are the celestial bodies? Like the moon, the sun, and the other all the objects that shine in the sky. This is what we call as celestial bodies, and they have their they are big and hot, and they made of gases. Fine. And these two things, they big and hot, plus one more condition. If I add that, they have their own light, or we can say they emit light. Fine. Or emit the light, then we call them as stars. Fine. So now what is stars? They are celestial bodies. Fine. But the two conditions, they are big and hot. Fine. Made up of gases. But one more thing is that they have their own light, or we can say they emit the light. Fine. This is the condition for stars. So if you want to mention in some words, then you can note it down. Like, I'll put it in words. So how do you define it? Like stars. So they are what? They are celestial bodies. Fine. But apart from that, what are celestial? I have discussed. Fine. They are big and hot. Fine. Big and hot and made up of gases. Plus, the third condition is that they have their own light, or they emit light. Have their own light and emit in large amount. Light emit in large amount. Fine. So this is what we call them as stars. Fine. So let me see it. It is you know, visible or not. Yeah, everything is visible. That's fine. So, what are the celestial and star? Fine. I hope I made it clear. The next term. Now, apart from celestial bodies, there is another term uh, that you may come across when you read this particular chapter. That what we call them as constellation. See, let me see the spell. Constellat. Uh, Constellation. Now, what is constellation, people? If I ask you, what is it, constellation? A constellation is like when you see in the sky that there are certain patterns formed by the stars. Like you know, as a kid, people say that the Saptarishi. Have you ever seen the Saptarishi in the night sky? Fine. So these are the patterns. Fine. Some of the patterns, recognize. This is what we call them as a constellation. So uh, I hope you got the what is constellation. Some pattern. Some kind of patterns that are made by these stars. This is what we call them constellation. So you can write the definition. The constellation. What is constellation? Various pattern formed by different group of stars. Various pattern. Various patterns formed by uh, groups of stars called them. Then what we call them as this constellation. Fine. So, for example, let me give you an example here. Like this is Ursa Major. This example is mentioned in NCERT, people. Fine. Or another name for the same is Big Bear. Fine. And Saptarishi. Saptarishi. Sapt means seven and Rishi is sage. Fine. So this is a constellation. So what is constellation? The various stars, the group of stars that form different patterns, that what we call them as a constellation. Fine. This is there. Then what is the next term? Guys, this is you should read the NCERT, because focus on your focus should be on these terms. When you read standard books, or you might have attending some classes, you will come across these terms when solving previous year question paper. Because once you are beginner, that's why people suggest you just go for NCERT. Fine. So the next term, let me see how many pages we have got. Yeah, then planets. Now come to the people solar system. What is solar system? What do you understand by solar system? Just take a moment and think about it. What is solar system? Just take a moment and just think. Try to think. What do you understand by solar system? Fine. So what is solar system? The sun. This mentioned in NCERT. The 8 planets and other celestial bodies. Other celestial bodies are called as solar system, or known as solar system. So what is the solar system? Whatever when you read about you might have heard about that there is a sun, and then there are some planets, like there are 8 planets, and then other celestial bodies like stars or some like asteroid. I'll discuss what is asteroid, and the meteoroids, fine. And this is what we call them as a solar system. So what is solar system? The sun and the 8 planets and the rest of the celestial bodies is known as the solar system. So I hope you understand the solar system, fine. And then let's discuss there is a, let me show you that there is some if you can yeah, I guess you people are able to see it. This is the diagram, people, that's shown here, the solar system, fine. What you need to do is that just go through it. There are some facts or figures, there are certain numbers that are mentioned. Don't you don't need to just remember them. Just remember the sequences. For let me just write it here. I'll tell you how to do it, fine. Because I will not discuss every planet here. In solar system, you see that this is sun. Actually, I have only one color, but anyway, uh, let's say this is sun, fine. Then we have Mercury, fine. Then we have the another planet. What's the name of that? It's Venus. Then we have Earth, fine. Fine. This is dark. Uh, there is a one more planet here. This is what we call it Mars. Fine. This is Mars, and this is asteroid belt. Fine. Then we have here then Jupiter. Then we have Saturn. Then we have this Uranus, and the last one is Neptune. Fine. So this is the diagram that is mentioned here. What you can do that you can make it in your own copy. Fine. It will be very beneficial for you. So what you need to remember that the sun was the nearest planet. It is Mercury. The second one is what? This is Venus. Yeah. Then third one is Earth, and the fourth one is Mars. And there is a asteroid belt. What is this asteroid belt? I'll tell you what is asteroid belt. Fine. Then we have Jupiter. It's the largest one. Fine. Then we have Saturn. Then we uh, Uranus, and this Venus, and this is Neptune. Fine. So you can remember it, and there are certain numbers are given. You don't need to remember that. Fine. So there are certain things that there are certain things, guys. These planets from Mars to Mercury. Let me write it here. Let me see, is it visible or not? No, 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 it's not visible. So look, people, this Mars. Then we have this. Sorry, Mercury. Then Venus. Then this Mercury. Mercury. Then we have this Venus. Then we have Earth. Then we have Mars. These four planets, they are called as inner planet. Fine, inner planets. This is important, people. Fine. What we call them as inner planets, and they are made up of rocks. Fine, made up of rocks. This is important. Fine. So these first Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, they are called as inner planets, and they are made up of gases. Fine. So what are the outer? The rest of the from this from Jupiter to Neptune, they are called as the uh, outer planets. Fine. So let me write it here. Outer planets. Fine. They are in huge in size. They are huge in size, and they are made up of liquid and gases. So this is the difference between the outer planet and the inner planet. Fine. So let me just give you a little recap. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, they are inner planets. They are made up of gaseous, and they are close to or near to sun. Then comes to the outer planets. Why they are called as outer? Because they are far from the uh, this sun. Fine, and they are huge. See their size. They are huge, and then they are made up of liquid and gaseous. Fine. So this is there, and there one more thing, that what is this asteroid belt? I'll be telling when I discuss meteoroid and this asteroid. Fine. So this is there. Now what's the next concept? As I've told you, there are 8 planets. Fine. Then there are some certain ways. Fine. So apart from this, there are certain terms like as I've told you, there are 8 planets. Fine. How many planets are there? 8. And then you can discuss the sun. you know you can discuss it one by one, but this is not feasible for me to discuss here. Like you can mention it some of the things about it, then you can discuss the next one, like earth, and then you can discuss 8 of them, but I guess this is not a concern here. As I told you, I'll discuss 2 more terms and remaining in this. First is asteroid and the second is meteoroid. You will come across these 2 terms, asteroids and meteoroids. Now, what is the asteroid and what is this Meteoroids. These are what asteroids are. What these are the minor uh, planets. Fine. These are the minor planets, and they are found in asteroid belt. Where they found in asteroid belt. Fine. So where is the asteroid belt? As I've told you that, as you can see that. Let me show it here. Yeah. Here is this asteroid belt. Fine. So these are the minor planets that found in this belt, asteroid belt. This is what we call them an asteroid belt. One more fact about it is that they are uh, found between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. This is the fact, guys. You can remember that. It can be asked in PT, given that these asteroids are found between the orbit of Earth and Jupiter. You know, it will be wrong that they are found in the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. So let me write it here. Asteroids are found in the orbits of Mars and and Jupiter. Fine. You can remember it, right? You can highlight this particular fact. The asteroids are found in the orbits of Mars and between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Fine. There is another term. This is meteoroids. Now, what is this meteoroids? They are small. Compared. Small rock. Small rock particles like. Fine. So they are what? They are smaller, small, rock, compare, particles, and they are found in outer space, and they are smaller than this meteoroids. Fine. So this is your sorry, asteroid, not meteoroid. So what's the difference between these two? These asteroids found between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. They are found in the outer space. Fine. They are bigger, and these meteoroids are smaller. Fine. And they are made up of these rocks. Fine. These are the minor planets. Fine. So this is I guess I've covered all of the terminology that are mentioned in this. Oh, one more thing is that satellite. What is satellite? Yeah. Okay, then meteoroids and asteroid, galaxy, universe. You can read it your own, and you can attempt the question that are given here. What's the planet known as the Earth's twin? Fine. I didn't discuss. It's just simple fact. There's nothing to discuss about it. The satellite. Yeah, you can see the definition of satellite as it mentioned here. What is satellite? So this satellite. What is satellite? The celestial bodies that moves around the planet in the same way that the plants move. Planets, not plants. It's planets move around the sun. So What is this satellites, celestial bodies? These are the celestial bodies that moves, sorry, that moves around the planets in the same way as the in the same way as the planets moves, or we can say orbits around the sun. Fine. So this is what we call a satellite, like Earth. Fine. Earth. Earth has a satellite called as moon. Fine. Fine. Let's say this is Earth. Here is this moon. So as Earth moves, and this satellite will remain, is moves around the Earth. Fine. Here is the sun. No, that means it will in bigger size. Let's say this is sun. Distance is much used. Don't worry about the distance. So as this Earth moves around this particular sun, the satellite, the same way the satellite moves around this planet. This is what we call as the satellite. Fine. So guys, I've covered all the important concept, or terminology that are mentioned in this particular chapter. So now what you can do that, do one thing, I just go through this particular chapter and try to attempt this question. Like first one, how does a planet different from star? How does a planet different from star? You can mention that. What is meant by solar system? As we discussed, every solar system, like the sun, the moon. Fine. The sun and the eight other planets plus the other celestial body. This is what we call as solar system. Then we have name all the planets according to the distance. I have made the diagram. It is mentioned in the NCERT. Fine. The next we have that, why is the Earth called as a unique planet? I didn't discuss that because it is mentioned that why it is called a unique uh, planet, because we find life on the Earth, because we didn't don't found life on any other planet. Fine. This is there. Then the next we have, and also Earth is also called blue planet. When you see in the space, it looks blue. Why? Because two-thirds of the Earth consists of water. Fine. That's why it's called as a blue planet. Then we have, why do you see only one side of the moon always? You can read your own. What is universe? In the last page here is mentioned universe and galaxy. Universe is made of million of galaxies, and galaxies made up of this million of galaxy is a huge system of billion of stars. Fine. In galaxy there huge billion of stars, and in universe there are million billion of this galaxies. Fine. You can read it. Then there are some where you have to pick correct the planet known as the Earth's twin. You can read it. Fine. Which is the third nearest planet to the sun? Oh, the you can see it. The polar star indicates the direction to which, I guess, yeah, north. Then we asteroids are found between. I've discussed, yeah, I've written here. You can see that Jupiter and Mars. Fine. And then there are fill in the blanks, a group of dash blank forming various pattern. We discuss this constellation. Fine. Huge system. You can read it your own and write. So as we have discussed first chapter, I've completed the first chapter. Now from my end, if you can go through it and try to attempt, it will be easy for you when you read standard textbook. Fine. So I hope I made you people clear. So I hope, guys. Thank you for watching.